Leo ni Wednesday. Wednesday inakuwa siku ya clinic ya mfuko. Daktari ameingia kwa clinic, tumeosha reception, we are ready for you. This week we want to talk about the issue of youth unemployment and look at entrepreneurship as a solution, what needs to be done. We get to hang out with an entrepreneur and a content creator. She has a master's in business administration and strategic management. She has been in the banking sector for 8 years. Sylvia Amayo is in studio with us. How are you doing?
I'm very well, thank you.
Karibu sana.
Asante.
Nimeambiwa shida ya youth unemployment, wewe ndiye uko na majibu yote.
Leo lazima tupate ma business.
Yes, lazima tupate ma business.
Yeah.
When we talk about unemployment, what kwa ground kuna kaje? What's the real picture? You know, we keep talking about unemployment, but do you have any statistics? How does it really look like? How big is this problem?
You see, if you're out here, for example, I've been a banker, right?
Yeah.
If you're in the corporate or in that space,
yes,
you don't have an idea of what is happening out there. But ukienda what you've called kwa ground. For example, there are some projects I do with a lot of youth in the slums. I work a lot in Dandora and Babadogo.
Yes.
So when you go there, you see exactly how things are. You know that you see that people do not have jobs. And when you and I wake up, we had breakfast or we will have breakfast.
Yes.
There are people who did not have breakfast or they will have one meal. Why? Because they don't have money. Why do they not have money? They don't have jobs.
And this is their normal life?
It's their normal life.
It's not a one-off thing?
No. It's not a one-off thing. So you see, it just shows the way there is a very high population that does not have jobs. And some of them have gone to school. So we end up with situations where we even have graduates, even master's degrees people. You've seen, I believe,
those ones with their placards sometimes.
Yeah, or some stories on TV of someone who anauza mayai na suti because akona masters na hajapata job. You get. But anyway, that's entrepreneurship also. You're the one for selling eggs. Yeah, but the population is very high, and some of them look for jobs, but they can't be taken. Some don't even know what to do. Some have ideas, but they don't know how to use these ideas to turn it into business. Yes. Yeah. I just had a chat with Pastor Smith when he was coming out, and I told him what I do. So he asked me, do you do this as help, out of passion, or do you also charge? And that is a question most youth, when you ask them, they cannot answer, or they will tell you, I do to help. Because we also have ideas, but you don't know how to turn it into money. Or we call it monetization. You don't know how to monetize it. So if we have a lot of help or a lot of talk around entrepreneurship, some people will even find out, oh wait, I can actually do this. I can actually make money. True. Because entrepreneurship is all about solving problems. Yeah.
And we have many.
We have many problems. Youth are very creative. And they have solutions. Okay. But bridging that gap between where I am with an idea, or even knowing how to come up with an idea or researching, and then crossing that bridge to starting a business or making money is not easy. Some people do not know it. It's
a space people don't know how to navigate
We don't know how to navigate it.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm just wondering, and I've always wondered, could also our education system have set us up to be where we are?
Absolutely.
Because our education system trains us to be employees.
Not
necessarily to be entrepreneurs. That's why many of us are looking for the few jobs that are available. And the end result is that majority are qualified, but there's no job.
That is very true. Because you see, one, historically, our education system focuses on teaching us theory, you know. They'll teach us what is statistics, they'll teach us English, mathematics. Entrepreneurship, I studied entrepreneurship in campus, but as a small unit, you know, like what is entrepreneurship? A unit you do, a semester is 3 months. So that's it. You don't even go deep, delve deep to learn
Yes.
more about entrepreneurship. So our education system teaches us theory. When you get out, you don't have the hands-on skills to do stuff. But you see, if we changed and taught people how to do things instead of how to go and work in a bank to be a teller, you know, how can I start a bank, you know? How can I start a payment company, you know? If we can learn such skills in school, if our education system can change, it will be, it will give us a good starting point, yeah? And then also when you go to HELB, you know about HELB?
Yes.
Where you pass with a certain points, certain number of points, and the government sponsors you. I'm one of the beneficiaries. Now here is the problem about HELB.
Yeah.
If I wanted to do medicine and I got an A or engineering, I'm lucky, right? But most people, when you end up in HELB, what happens is they look at your points, the subjects you passed, then you are allocated a certain box of courses. You don't really have much of a choice.
Yeah.
Let's say, for example, myself. I studied hospitality and tourism management. Is that what I was planning to do? No.
No.
Did I know what I wanted to do? No. But you see, based on what I passed and the parameters, they figured that's where I can, that's what they can give me. Yeah. And then you can change the courses, but it is limited within the same
box
field. Yes. So most people end up with degrees. You're a graduate, yes. However, you probably didn't study what you wanted to do, or you didn't study for what is in demand. I have a friend who finished, she graduated, then she went straight back to campus. She said, now I'm done, let me look for my money. I go and study law because I wanted to be a lawyer. Yeah, but I was given this other course.
Okay.
So it's also how we get those education opportunities. And lastly, some of us don't have access to it to start with. So if you don't go to school, and our system is not like the West, you don't have a degree, no job.
I'm just curious, because when we talk about, there's a key word you've mentioned several times, the word skill.
Yes.
And I'm thinking, if we focused more on giving people a skill, at least one skill. You know, there's a friend of mine who keeps saying, at least have a skills. One thing you can do with your hands.
Yes.
Learn something you can do with your hands, because that is what you will fall back on. If all your skill is just here, so zingine hapa waya zinashikana unasahau. You know. So would it be any different? Because I remember back in the day we had, when I was in high school, we had technical schools. I remember Kabete Technical and other schools, which were more inclined towards teaching you a skill, engineering, carpentry, masonry, and things like that. Do you think if we went back to that kind of a system, we would have a different outcome?
We would, because you see, for example, take the example of people who have diplomas and degrees, but they don't have jobs. Okay? Let's go back to the youth I work with in Dandora.
In Dandora. So,
yes. So one of the guys is, he graduated in, he has a course in engineering, no, IT, tech. Yeah. But then he doesn't do it. He doesn't practice tech. He's right now doing a project for community development around waste management. Now imagine if this guy, we had a short course that teaches about environmental sustainability and how to manage waste. You know there's a big dump site in Dandora. How can I pick this waste? Nitaisota aje? Hizi plastic zinaenda wapi? Na zitasaidia na nini? You see, you don't even need capital. Someone like that, right? They would know how to change this waste into something meaningful, earn an income, and then what will they do? They'll also create employment.
They'll create employment.
If we teach people something like tailoring,
Yes.
you know, it can be easy. Such things can even be easy for them to get jobs because you'll get yule mama wa kushona pale mtaani, take you as an intern, yeah. After you learn, then with time, it's even easy for someone to sponsor you by buying that sewing machine.
The sewing machine.
Rather than a car to do Uber.
You know, there's something you've said there that I realize is also an attitude change that we need. You know, you've said mama wa kushona pale mtaani.
Yes.
You know, for me when I was growing up, those are things we looked at and we despised. We had a gentleman at the shopping center. He was there for years.
Yeah.
Alikuwa anatushonea trousers.
Yeah.
And then we had the shoemaker. But now, when we look at skills like those, we look at them from that level.
Yes.
We don't look at this person who can learn tailoring and become an international designer.
Precisely.
We don't look at that person who repairs shoes. They can actually create their own shoe line.
Yeah.
Because we are in a space today where I think people are trying to buy more local.
Yes.
Yeah. When it comes to clothing nowadays, I see people buying more local.
Yeah.
So I think also, how do we change that attitude?
Okay. So first of all, my age group and youth, from millennials to Gen Z, we have a very intense inclination towards escaping risk, right? Number two, we look at entrepreneurship as a very big theme.
Yeah.
Now, if we had a change of mind and and accepted that, you see, everything comes with a risk, and you cannot be successful if you don't take the risk.
You don't take the risk, yeah.
And entrepreneurship comes with risk. So if we change our mindset around risk and realize that I need to take a risk for me to succeed, most of us would be willing to go into entrepreneurship and creating our own business, right? And then also changing the way we look at things. I believe even you and I, like you've said, when you were growing up, you looked at these people differently.
Yes.
Yeah. I know of a guy who, he's a graduate, but since before he even started campus, he was creating shoes. This kawaida, you know the shoes that Masai sell?
Yes.
He makes those shoes. He sells them. Guess what he has done? He has started a stall for his dad, created employment.
Yes.
Of course, they've employed other people, and they can also import these shoes. So if we also change our mindset and don't get hell-bent on, I want to go to corporate, I want to be a banker, I want to be a lawyer. Okay, fine. Be a lawyer, be a banker, but what else can you do?
Yeah.
So you'll find yourself, okay, studying and going into the corporate, but doing other things on the side, which you might even realize are more meaningful and important.
Yes.
And they give you more income. And the beauty about entrepreneurship is you have very large room for scaling. Because if I'm salaried, increment comes once a year.
If it does.
If it does.
Yes.
And that increment, if it's 10K, you know you won't get 10K because your tax bracket also goes up. And we know what has been happening with tax in the recent years. Now, for entrepreneurship, you don't have to wait a whole year to get 10K. You can increase your stock, you'll talk to customers, you'll increase your customer base. So there's a lot of room. So if we look at it that way, it's risky, yes, but there's more room for growth. I will learn, I'll get more income. And these other informal jobs are not bad because they are the ones that feed us on the ground. So if we change our mindset about those, we can go far in terms of entrepreneurship. And as youth, we can create employment for ourselves, for other people, and get income. Okay,
when I think back to when I was in high school, college, we didn't have as many people trying out businesses as we do today.
Yes.
Yeah. In fact, the landscape of the CBD was very different than what it is now.
Yeah.
I think we only had, there was the Free Mark. Free Mark at the Uhuru Park.
Yes, yes.
That was the only place that had something similar to what we have today, stalls and different people selling whatever. Nowadays, it's almost like every building in town has stalls. People are trying out a lot of things. People are doing a lot of things online. But a lot of businesses are also failing. Young people are starting things that are collapsing.
Yeah.
So we'll listen to some music and then maybe you can tell us how do we change that, because now we have a lot more young people who are inclined towards finding a hustle to do. Even people who are working, people are trying to look for a side hustle.
Everyone has a side hustle.
And many of them are being started and they don't last a year, they collapse. So how do we capitalize on that interest and change the landscape and make these businesses to actually work and grow? We are looking at unemployment and entrepreneurship as a viable solution. We are hanging out with Sylvia Mayo. She is an entrepreneur, content writer, holds a master's in business administration and strategic management, and she was in the banking space for 8 years. Questions are welcome on 20316 for SMS and WhatsApp 0786 316 316. So back to the question I was asking before we went into the music. A lot of young people and even older people nowadays are getting into business. People are trying out things here and there, but a lot of them don't celebrate a year's birthday, let alone 2 years' birthday. So because there's a lot of interest, what needs to be done to make the small businesses people are beginning sustainable? Okay.
So first there is the external help that you can get, and then there is, let me call it internal help, what you can do yourself to make sure it works. So external or third-party help, we talked about education, right? Yeah. If we have more entrepreneurship courses, forget about the skills, being taught skills, but teaching entrepreneurship as a course, right? It will help because, like you said, people have ideas, they start businesses, but they don't thrive.
They don't thrive.
Because I'm a doctor, but I want to do maybe start a clinic, or maybe I've made some very innovative device for testing a certain disease. Yes. But I don't have that business or entrepreneurship mindset, right? Yeah. If I don't have it, I'll have a very good idea, but it will fail.
It will fail, yeah.
Now imagine if I studied entrepreneurship. I believe a lot of people studied, but I did not study intense entrepreneurship. It was just a unit. If we are taught entrepreneurship the way we are taught English and Kiswahili, from class 1 to 8, high school we also learn English. I mean, it's not a choice.
It's not a choice.
Yeah.
Yes.
So that's why a lot of Kenyans... So that's why all Kenyans can converse in English, but we are not a Western country. Now imagine if we added entrepreneurship to English and Kiswahili as mandatory subjects. It means everyone who has finished even just high school, they already have that business mindset. Yes. They know, I know how to cook very good chapo. I can turn this into a business by setting up a station pale kwa mjengo, right? Instead of kukaa hapo, bomba pesa, you understand? Now coming to yourself as a person, there are some people who, even with the help, it will still fail. Why? Because I know there are two things we are victims of. Impatience, the age group, youth, very, very impatient. I am also very impatient. We are what I call a microwave generation. Yes. I want to come and, you know, I want...
Kesho.
Yes. Kuomoka, nataka kuomoka kesho. Yes. And I've started a business which might take a year. There's something called delayed gratification.
Delayed gratification, yes.
Our generation does not know it, and it's very hard to wait. So what we want to do is we are very impatient. I want to start a business. I want it to pick tomorrow. Some will pick tomorrow, but I want to use that money to buy a Subaru.
Ooh, a blue one.
The blue Subaru. But you see, we need to have the patience to take this money, reinvest it, grow and grow and grow. After a year, you can buy a Mercedes-Benz or whatever, right? So if we master patience, and you see patience is not something you can be taught in school, it's a decision you make. Number two, we are victims of indiscipline. Yeah. Now, we are very good at keeping our promises and commitments to other people. We forget to keep promises we made to ourselves. Yeah. If, for example, if someone is, you work here, right? Okay, let's say a kijana who works here. You're supposed to be, I was told to be here at 6:30.
Yeah.
I came at exactly 6:30. My plan was to come a little bit before, but we passed and we had to reroute.
Yes.
Yeah. Now, imagine my age group, the same person. Today is a holiday. She has a side hustle. She sells shoes.
Sema yote na haraka mara tatu. She sells shoes.
She works in a bank. However, she has a side hustle.
Yes.
She sells shoes. Anabai viatu Gikomba anauza. Right? Such a person, they will not have the discipline to go to their shop at 6:30 because anataka, someone talked about a duvet there. The duvet is so warm.
Yeah, the duvet is so tempting.
And then we have this mindset, ni biashara yangu. It's my business. I mean, I can go late. No, it's your business. You're supposed to go 1 hour early. The same way you're giving your time and commitment to that bank.
I love what you're saying.
So when you go, you'll go to the bank 1 hour early so that you do some reports, you go through the customer profile for your meeting to get more out of your meeting or to sell that product.
Yeah.
How about if you went to your side hustle just
with the same
30 minutes early? Go to Google and see what people are searching about shoes, or find out the new shoe designs. Don't you think that 1 hour will help you build your business more?
It will. It will.
But we don't look at it that way. We usually say, I'm the boss, I can go late. No, you're the boss, go there 2 hours early, you know, and then you will build your business. So if we had discipline and patience, we would go very far because it's the small things that make a difference.
In fact, I want to look at this. It's a thought question. I'm a young person. I was among those who won in a competition to fund young entrepreneurs. 450 of us won 900K and 200 won 3.6 million.
Yeah.
My business collapsed after 1.5 years.
Yeah.
And so did many others of those we met. I thought capital is all you needed to succeed, but I realized a lot goes into making a business aside from money.
Yeah.
And many young people get funding without being trained on how to run a business.
Yeah.
Could our guests share some tips aside from capital that we need to make a business prosper?
He's very spot on.
Yes.
So number one, I don't know what business they were doing, but we've already covered two. So I don't know about him, but I'm very sure the people he has mentioned there, some of them fell off because they didn't have the discipline, or the patience to wait and see things coming through. Because if you're given 1 million, also you think it's a lot of money. 1 million is not a lot of money. It's not a lot.
It's not.
Yeah. So patience and discipline, that is number one. Number two, when you're going into entrepreneurship, it's important to think of going into it as solving a problem or providing a solution.
Not making money.
Not making money. That way, you have more chances of one, succeeding, two, being sustainable, or rather staying in the market you have ventured in, right? For example, let's say, I don't want to go big. He's talking about millions. Let's say something simple. Okay.
Kulikuwa na mwingine wa 100K. Where was that for 100K? I saw a message here for...
No, go back. He's the same guy.
Yes. Yeah. How could you help someone like me? I started a business of 100K.
Yeah.
Na imeanguka. Hadi saa hii sina kitu ya kuuza.
Na bet.
Ya 100 bob. So najaribu hata kubet. Nipate pesa, but I end up failing daily. Help me please, Mike.
You see now, for Mike, for a specific answer, it would help to know what exactly he started. Right?
What business was he doing? Yeah.
So if Mike tells us what business he was doing, then I can have a few pointers around it. And maybe even ask him, what did you do? Venye ulianza, what happened?
What happened?
Then we can easily find, pinpoint where he went
where the
wrong.
gaps were.
Yeah, so maybe he can, even if he can inbox, you can share with me later, look at it. I'm happy to chat with him and help him find out what the problem was.
So Mike, utatupatia update. What kind of business you are doing and what happened?
But back to going into entrepreneurship as a problem-solving venture. Let's say, for example, someone has started a maize supply business, kwa mtaa. They get maize from UG, Uganda. They come and supply, sell wholesale or retail. Then they make, it's very good, they make a lot of money. So, because I started it, you see it and decide, oh, Sylvia is making money, let me go and do it.
It's the typical Kenyan thinking.
But you see...
that's why stalls are everywhere in town.
Yes.
Selling the same things.
The same thing. But you see, he's already solving the problem of hakuna mahindi, or he's brought cheaper maize. Now, instead of me selling maize also, I can look at it and say, this guy is selling maize. I can talk Swahili, right? Watu wanabuy hapa mahindi, and then wanaenda kwa supa kubai maragwe ya kupika githeri. Ama wanabuy hapa mahindi, and then they walk 1 kilometer kwenda kusiaga. So instead of bringing maize, solve people's problem. Set up a posho mill there. Sell beans. Or do a mboga stall. Sell skuma wiki.
So these two businesses are complementing each other.
Tomatoes and onions. Chances are whoever is buying maize will want beans, will want a posho mill. Anaenda kukula ugali, atataka tomato, onion, na mboga. Will your business be sustainable? Yes. Will you refer business to each other? Yes. But if you start selling maize, what if this guy reduces his price? You're done. You don't know where he's getting, and he won't tell you where he's getting the maize. So if we look at it as a problem-solving venture, chances of succeeding are high. Even if you don't know much about entrepreneurship, you know, customers will keep coming, so your business will keep growing.
You've reminded me, I was hosting a financial coach here a couple of weeks ago, and he was telling me about his friend who sells clothes, but if you ask him what he does, he will not tell you he sells clothes.
How so?
He will tell you, I dress people. I don't just sell clothes.
You see? You will want to buy his clothes in the first place, right?
My purpose and the problem I'm solving is I want to dress people well. And so he was saying when you go to his shop, he will not just sell you anything because you have the money. He will advise you on what looks good for you, looks good on you. And what doesn't look good on you, even if you have the money, hata kuzia. Kwambie you hapana. So he's working from a place of purpose and solving a particular problem. But shifting a bit on this conversation, looking at what the government can do, what are some things you think the government ought to do to make this space more viable, especially for the young people who are coming up? Because sometimes I tend to feel there's too much red tape and there's too much of, what do we call it? Kunyanyaswa in a way. So what does the government need to do from your perspective? Okay, so one of the main things entrepreneurs need as support is funding, right? Now we need money. Let's say money is there, but we cannot access it. Why? Very stringent GTCs, terms and conditions. Very high interest rates. Okay. Now these are maybe government loans or even banks and microfinance and mobile money lenders. So most lenders are regulated by CBK or other SACCOs are regulated by SASRA. Indirectly government, right? Now, if the government could come in and help create a little bit friendlier policies around money lending for entrepreneurs, for youth,
it will propel us a step further into accessing the money. Now, for example, interest rates are very high, right? So what if the government came in and worked with financiers to put policies that say interest rate is 13%, but if it's someone who is starting a business and is within the youth age bracket, can we give them at half, right? Or the government also needs money, granted. So say, no, we are not willing to forego our half. However, can we then postpone or defer this interest and tell you're starting a business. Within the first year, you will only pay back the what is it called? The one that's not interest.
What's the word?
Anyway, so if you borrow 100K, the interest, say, will amount to 30K. So let them say we will defer your interest, within the first 6 months, you're just paying back the principal. The principal,
yes.
Hatutakuitisha interest. Interest tutakuitisha after 6 months. Why? Because tunakupatia time ya kujiestablish. That will help because we also know there is no free money, right?
There's no free money, yes.
Yeah. So, and what about, you know, when you go to the bank, back to the terms and conditions or stringent rules, no one will give you money just like that. They want documents, they want collateral. I want to start a business, sina hiyo shamba ama gari, but you want collateral. Where am I supposed to get it from? But you see, as a lady in Coast or in Nairobi, do I have a gold watch? Do I have a necklace? How much is it? So if we were to relook at how we treat collateral, don't just base it on big assets, land, house, car, you know. Can we say banks, we have something called women banking. There are some banks that have women banking. But under this women banking, can we help give access to women, give women access to financing based on their characteristics? Which means, can someone come to me and tell me, niko na necklace ya gold, it costs 50K. Can you take this as collateral? That is very stable collateral because it's gold. If I don't pay, you can repay. You can sell it. So you say, I'll give you a loan at 70% value of your necklace because if you don't pay, I'll sell it at 70% and get my money back. So if we are able to look at the collateral, it's all about creating policies that have friendlier terms and conditions or a friendly way of helping me get the money without telling me, let alone when you go to the rural areas, some of the women don't have IDs. Can I come with my husband's ID? I mean, my husband is not going anywhere. Can I come with my husband's title deed? He's not taking the loan, but he has given me something. If we create such room, more people will have access to funding.
Our time is almost up. Maybe a word of encouragement to those young people who are already doing something. No matter how big or how small, everybody's complaining about the tough times and the hard economic situation we find ourselves in. What word of encouragement can you give those young entrepreneurs?
Okay, so number one, we talked about solving a problem. When you want to go into entrepreneurship, think about solving a problem. If you're solving a problem, your chances of success are high because you're here to stay. People will come and buy your solution, right? That is why Facebook still exists. That is why Google is big, because we want to search. And it's just a search engine. That is why M-Pesa keeps thriving. Why? Because they just help us find a way of sending money to each other. And then it's hard to access financing. It's going to take a lot of time before financiers have better or friendlier policies. However, what if you guys were to come together? You know, don't look at it as ni mi peke yangu. It is said when you walk alone you go fast. When you walk together or with many people you go far. What are you looking for? Sustainability.
Yes.
Now, if let's say you wanted to start an event planning company, yeah, you have worked in media, so you're like, me, I know how to produce and do these things, and then you go to Equity, they tell you, atuoni picha. What if you came back, ukashikana na mimi, Angela, your neighbor, and it's not just anyone. You have worked in media. I'm a photographer. Angela is a writer. Mike knows deco, interior deco. There's an MC. There's a DJ.
Yeah.
Do you think if you go to ask someone for money and tell them, I'm starting an event company, I don't have the money, but I have the skill and the know-how. And tukipata do leo, I don't even hire a DJ. I mean, it's already there. So this, whatever we get, hatujilipi, we just plow it back
into the
business. It will be easier for investors to help, sponsors. Loan offers can also, listen to you.
Okay.
And then lastly, I cannot stress enough the value of networking and mentorship. Yeah. Everyone needs to have a mentor.
Yeah.
And it's not just, someone to, when you're starting out. No. Throughout
your journey.
Throughout your journey.
Yes.
One of my mentors is a professor. So funny enough, one day he was talking to me and he told me about his mentor. So I was like, wait, you also have a mentor? But that tells you something.
Yeah.
Mentorship is very important because he also sees why. So why mentorship is good is because you will interact with like-minded people, people who are in the industry you want to venture in. You will meet people who are more successful than you. You will learn things. Even without asking, you just watch what they do.
Yes.
And then when you interact with these people, you will find out where opportunities are. And then you have the skill, the knowledge, the motivation. These people know you. Your mentor knows you. He knows you're a good photographer. Yeah. If he finds an opportunity for photography, what will he do? He will refer you. Yeah. And you see, mentors have more networks than us.
Very true.
So mentorship can also help you, even about learning, about entrepreneurship, how to do your business. Get someone who is doing what you want to do. Yeah. Learn from them. And people who are more successful than you are always very happy to share info and guide you and help you succeed. Yeah.
Sylvia Amaya, thank you for coming in today.
Thank you very much for having me.
Thank you for what you're doing with the young people in Dandora. Keep up the good work.
Thank you so much.
Aya, wakati umeisha, I need to close down the clinic. Daktari umesikia yuko na appointment Dandora. Na vitu wanafanya huko lazima nimrelease mapema aende akasaidie vijana huko Dandora. Thank you for watching. Until next week for another session on the Financial Clinic. Do have a great day.
Thank you for watching. Remember, subscribe to our YouTube channel so that you can get notified whenever we upload new fresh content every day. Stay tuned and enjoy fresh, uplifting content.